Hey, I'm really excited here to do this webinar with you and for you, which I believe will actually change your life. But before we do that, let's make sure that the technology is working right and everything is okay. So, first of all, uh, can you hear me? Maybe you'd like to make a note and say, yeah, in the column on the right there. And we're going to give you some good information today. So I'd like you to turn off your phone and just give me your attention just for this time, because this is your life. And I'd like you to turn your phone off and be ready. Okay? Uh, so if we're okay, can you hear me? Say yeah. Just write it down. Are we okay? Are we ready to go? 30 seconds. They haven't heard. And there will be a 30-second delay, remember that, for the webinar. It will take about 30 seconds to hear me. Yeah. Jean says yes, and Kayo and Leanne. Okay, thank you very much. Now, welcome to the era of super stress. You see, a new era is upon us. Did you know that? New era of stress. You know, Canadian nervousness and American nervousness is at its peak. And your job is basically characterized by sudden, unexpected changes and conflicting results, conflicting demands on your time. And there's so much speed going on in the world, isn't it? You know, technology races along totally out of control. And this constant demand on your physiology is causing stress. I call it super stress because we're almost catatonic, we're suspended, and our potential is compromised. So, what I want you to know today is that this thing called stress, we often say that we're stressed, right? And we sometimes make a joke of it. But stress does not only make you feel anxious and uptight, stress can actually impact the heart. Stress can go to the midbrain, send a message down to the surface of the heart, and you can get heart trouble. There's something called stress myocardiopathy. So I hope that you will listen to me today. Okay, so this is what stress can do to you. Now, what are we going to do today? We're going to do four things. I would like you to learn to elevate. To elevate. Can you say that to me? Elevate yourself. I'd like you to elevate the psychophysiological system, to elevate it so that you will have a change in your physiology for the better that was not there before. That is totally possible. Are you ready? Are you excited? Just write elevate for me. Just say elevate. And then we know that you're going to elevate the psychophysiological system. That's the first thing. The second thing that we're going to do, I'm going to teach you and show you concretely how to access that system in the body that is a biochemical system that is consistent with ideal performance, so that whatever you're doing, your performance is ideal. And at the same time, not just ideal performance, but calm energy, a sense of readiness for action and sharp thinking. We will access that state today. And aren't you familiar with the fact that stress actually grooves habits of stress and habits of lack of productivity, laziness, or whatever it is, bad habits are actually grooved into the nervous system. So today we are going to try to change, not try, we're going to change the grooving. We're going to renew those connections and let the neuronal networks function much better. That's the third thing. And the last thing we're going to do, I'm going to seriously show you how to use stress as a trigger for success, how to use the difficulties, the hardships of your life. How do you use those to actually create a refined and integrated physiology so that when you are hit by the hardships and the vicissitudes of life, you will actually be better? You will actually have a superior body and mind. So we've got our work cut out for us, okay? So we're going to do that today. And I want in a moment to show you a diagram, okay? I want to put a diagram on the screen. And what I want you to do before we begin, I want you to make sure that you know now that this seminar is not just about knowledge. This seminar is going to be about wisdom, the wisdom of change. You see, for any real leader, you remember these skills are for somebody who really want to lead in their field. And you may not have a position or a title, that's not important, but you want to lead. You want to be financially positive. You want to make lots of money. You want to have a great relationship. Well, this seminar is for you. You want to be able to help a lot of people. And so I want to put a diagram on the screen now so that you will see. Okay, let me show you where we are. Can you see this diagram? And right up here, that's the brain. And when the brain is accosted with a lot of information and a lot of stress, certain things happen. And what happens, you see the heart here. The heart has blood vessels in it, and these blood vessels can actually constrict, and that can cause problems. But what we're going to do is give you a technique that will actually antidote it. It will act as an antidote to these stressful events. So here you have the heart. You see the artery going down into the elbow. Now pay attention to this and relate it to your own life. Okay, just stay with me now. So normally you have the heart sending blood down the arms and down into the fingers on each side of each finger. I'm sure you can see it. And the same thing in the toes. Now, how are you going to use this information to make you more productive? When a stressor acts on the biological system, one of the things that happens, the blood moves away from the fingers and from the arms. And I want you to really see in yourself this diagram. I want you to be able to see the arms and to see the blood vessels in your own mind when your boss is giving you a hard time, when you have difficulties with your kids, when you have a fight with your spouse, when you think you're getting too stressed. I want you to focus on this little diagram and see that the blood is flowing into your arms and into your legs, and you accentuate that. You make it more powerful. Yeah, you can do that. Isn't it wonderful? By saying a little mantra, my arms and legs are heavy and warm. So when stress hits you, you're not saying, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? You look in your mind's eye at your arm and you remember seeing that blood vessels and you say, my arms and legs are heavy and warm, as you imagine the blood flowing into your fingers, and that will reverse the stress response. Okay, so let's do that now. My arms and legs are heavy and warm. That's the first thing I want you to actually learn today, something practical that you can use to reverse the stress response which is hitting you often, almost every moment. There's some little bit of stressors, because you know what? What is life? Life is basically one darn thing after another. Life is one darn thing after another. And I want you now to I want you to make sure that you know how to beat the darn things of life. And I'm going to give you two more things before we have an exercise that you can use, and you can be sure that you will never ever have to be stressed out again. So you have my arms. You see, I'm trying to show you here. My arms and legs going into the fingers are heavy and warm. Now, the second thing I want you to do is to breathe. I want you to learn that breathing is the basic rhythm of life. Okay, the basic rhythm of life. So you have C, circulation, we're going backwards. You have B, you have breathing. Now, how do you breathe? If you are tense at work or at home, or you're having lots of problems, one of the things you'll notice is that your breathing is disrupted. Now, what I would like you to do is to breathe in through your nose slowly, very slowly, and as you breathe out through your mouth, and you're going to, as you breathe out through your mouth, you're going to say, my arms and legs are heavy and warm. So you're learning an exercise which you can take with you anywhere, anytime, to ensure that you will be able to beat the rigors of stress. You're hurrying because you're late, and you find that you're getting palpitations. You don't say, oh my gosh, I'm getting stressed. Never again. You're going to take a deep breath in through your nose, and as you breathe out, you focus and say, my arms and legs are heavy and warm, and you feel the blood flowing into your arms and into your legs. Now, what's missing with this? Do you know, the single most important factor that we have in the brain is attention, is awareness. And I want you today to learn how to beef up your awareness. You know, I want you to make sure that you know that awareness is actually the history of your life. So learn today, right now. Just dismiss that today. You are going to learn to turn your awareness upwards. If you can focus your awareness on your fingers, you will change the dimensions. You will change the function of your fingers. If you can focus your awareness on your abdomen, you will change the function of your abdomen. So awareness is very powerful, but we take it for granted. So in this little exercise, I want you to focus on yourself and focus on an area that you like. Just focus, because the human beings are the only animals with the amazing capacity of focusing attention inwards as well as outwards. We're the only ones that can do that. So focus inwards. We're focused outwards all the time. We're saying, I have to return this email, I have to do this call, oh my gosh, these books, and all kinds of outward attention. But I want you to learn to focus inwards, and that will bring a sense of physiological harmony to your body. So right now, I want you to focus on your arms and legs. So you focus on your arms and legs, you take a deep breath, and as you breathe out, you feel the blood flowing, and you say, my arms and legs are heavy and warm, and that reverses the stress response. Now, I want to impress upon you right now that when you do that, you're looking at stress not so much as something where, you know, I have to be careful, I have to manage my time and that sort of thing. It's okay. But you're looking at stress as a physiological entity that is affecting your ability to function and your ability to perform. Hey, this is serious. You are going to lead your field. You're going to go up. So you're going to have to learn to harness your energy. You're going to have to learn to husband your energy and to use this exercise to make sure that stress does not stop you from doing your best or from being the most productive that you can be. So there is the exercise. My arms as you're focusing and breathing, and legs are heavy and warm. And let me put it in one of my favorite ways for you. Wow, I use this all the time in my life. I believe that when you observe your body changes. So, one of the advantages I want you to leave here with, this isn't just about information. This seminar is about wisdom, the wisdom to change. And hey, there you are. You've given your time here, and I want you to change your life. And the change is important for any conscious being. To live is to change. To change is to grow. Grow in finance, grow in relationships, grow in your ability to help others. That's why we're here. So for any conscious being, to live is to change. To change is to grow. And to grow is to go on creating oneself anew endlessly. And that's what we're doing here. Creating a new heart, new blood vessels, creating new enthusiasm, new vision, creating sharp thinking. My arms and legs are heavy and warm, and that will cut the stress, you see. Okay, now what I would like you to do is to do my little favorite exercise. I want you to look at that diagram again in your mind. Remember, it goes down from the heart and it splits at the elbow and it goes into the side of each fingers. And as you do that, I want you to learn to observe your body and mind. And I want you to learn to change your psychology with your muscles. So, what muscles? The muscle of smiling. When you smile, you change your physiology because a message goes to the internal carotid artery, and that changes a lot of things in the brain. So, here goes. I want you to say, I observe, breathing in, I observe my body and mind. Breathing out, I smile and relax. I want you to do that all the time. Nobody's going to open your mind and check and wonder what you're doing. All they will know is that this guy is now relaxed. This guy is able to do more. This woman is so powerful because you've harnessed the energy by this simply repetitive task. I want you to say breathing in, and do breathe in through your nose, always through your nose, because it beats anxiety. Breathing in slowly, I observe my body and mind and actually use the focus. Remember the power of awareness. Breathing out, I smile and relax. And I want you to continually do that day after day, several times a day. Somebody shouts at you, you take a deep breath. Breathing in, I observe my body and mind. Breathing out, I smile and I relax. And the first exercise I want you to incorporate. And as you smile and relax, remember you have something to focus on. Breathing in, I observe my arms and I observe the blood vessels going into my fingers. Breathing out, I smile and I relax all my muscles. I want you to keep doing that. And I'm so excited to share this with you. You know why? Because I know you may not know, but I know that this is amazingly powerful. It's amazingly powerful. It has transformed the lives of millions of people, and it has transformed the lives of many patients. You see, we tend to deal with stress with exercise and with diet, but exercise and diet are not enough. You're leaving one of the three pillars of health out, and that is self-regulation. And today, become an expert in elevating yourself with this pillar of self-regulation. And that's the first thing. Now, I want to let's ask ourselves, what is stress? What is this thing called stress? Stress, I want you to say, is the response. Can you write that for me? You can say, stress is the response. You know, that's what stress is. And when you respond a certain way, you are actually increasing your stress. So let me define stress for you. Stress is the response. Okay, can you see my hands? Stress. Okay, let's go now. Come on, come on. You're learning what stress is. Stress is the response of an individual when he or she perceives that her life circumstances, what's happening in the real world, is beyond my ability to cope. Then you have the stress response. Okay, stress is the response. Stress is not the situation. The situations, you know, the small, irritating, mundane things of life cause the most stress, and they are inevitable. You know, you'll always have stressors in your life. You'll always have them. And most of them come on 2 feet. And they talk back at you. If you have kids, you know what I mean. And if you have a boss, you know what I mean. And if you have employees, you know what I mean. You know, it is people that can cause stress, emotions that can cause stress. So stress is the response of an individual when he or she perceives that her life circumstances are beyond her ability to cope. Now, hey, I just want to try and inspire you, try and motivate you that this hour is a sacred hour. It's an hour where you're dealing with your sacred terrain and you're learning a very important skill that will help you to be more effective, to make more money, to help more people, and to be more of what you were meant to be. So your responses are going to have to change. Stress is the response. Here are 3 windows that I'm going to offer you that will defeat stress right away. So what do you need for stress? You need stressors. And you don't have to go looking for those. They're there already. And you need to perceive that you can handle those stresses. You need to be able to know that you can. There's more to you than meets the eye. So look stressors, learn to look stressors right in the eye and say, I can handle that. You know, if you are having problems, if you're even fired from your job, whatever it is, I want you to look the problem in the eye and not say, oh my God, and get tense. You want to take a deep breath, breathing in. I observe my body and mind, breathing out, I smile and relax, and you look at the problem and you say, I can handle that. That's the perception part. Because you see, perception is the gateway to stress. If you perceive that you can handle whatever difficulties are thrown at you by life, if you perceive and believe that you can handle that, I tell you, you are wonderfully, fearfully, amazingly made. You've got the power. You can dig down and get the power. If you perceive that you can handle it, you'll get the power to handle it. So I want you to leave here. From now on, whenever stress hits you, you leave here with that perception that I can handle that. And you're going to have to beef up your perception. And in a little while, I'm going to give you at least 3 keys that you can use to make sure that you will tell the truth. When you say, I can handle that, your perception will be high, your self-image will be high, and you will know with that calm feeling inside that you can handle the vicissitudes of life no matter what, and it won't affect the midbrain. You won't get an impulse going to the surface of the left ventricle. You won't get ballooning of the heart or constriction of the coronary arteries. Multiple studies have shown that when you are at work or even at home and you respond sort of as a victim to the stressors of life and you get that negative stress response, we know that coronary artery disease will increase. Some people will get a heart attack. Okay, so I'm talking a lot about the impact of stress on the heart. Now, you might be 21, you might be 22, you might think you're too young, but you're not. Start taking care of your marvelous body from right now. And the three things: exercise, diet, and today we're dealing with self-regulation, learning how to make sure that you will deal with the stressors of life. So that's really one of the windows. Let's deal with stressors. How do you deal with stressors? The first thing you do, you want to anticipate the stressor. If you want to elevate yourself, if you want to become strong, if you want to actually take the time to protect yourself from stress, you are going to have to elevate your practice right now. And I want to get you into the elevator. I want to get you into that. Can you write elevate myself? Write that for me. Come on, humor me. Elevate myself. Elevate myself so that you will be a different person after this here little time together. I want you to feel totally elevated, okay? And so to deal with stressors, that's one way. When you have a stressor, you want to anticipate and plan. Did you know that you are a great predictor? You can predict when stress is going to hit you. You can predict what's going to happen in your work. So I want you, instead of just going to work or going home, I want you to predict what's likely to happen and learn to deal with it in advance. That's one of the things that you're going to have to do. So you want to arrest the stressor before it causes any disease. Arrest that stressor. And one way to do it is to anticipate. Okay, let me give you a practical example. Let's suppose that you have to give a talk, a presentation at work, or that you have to face some difficult situation at work. And that's a stressor. But you do not have to get stressed. I'm going to give you a technique that will absolutely eliminate stress when you have something in your future, in your imminent future, that you have to face. If you've got to go to a dentist or whatever it is. I'm sorry, dentist, but even I get nervous when I go to the dentist. Whatever it is, here's what you do, okay? Here's how you deal with a stressor. You use the stress inoculation technique. Can you write that down? Stress inoculation. You inoculate yourself with a little bit of stress so that you build that resistance. And when the real stress comes, you will know how to deal with it. So you say to yourself, let's say you have to see your boss is calling you in his office and you're going to be stressed. Nah, don't be stressed. It's a stressor. What you do, before he calls you, you think. You inoculate your self with the stress. You visualize yourself. I want you to visualize yourself right there in the office, having the hard time. Visualize the boss giving you a hard time. Or visualize your kid, or whatever the stressor is. Use your imagination. Einstein said imagination is far more powerful than even information. So I want you to visualize yourself right there in the stressful situation, but see yourself handling it with poise and with a sense of calm and with a sense of power. And if you constantly see the stressors in your life like that, do you know what's going to happen? The brain will be trained to actually deal with it that way when the situation happens. So in summary, a difficult situation coming up, stress inoculation. You see yourself in the difficult situation, but you see yourself handling it very, very well. That's how you deal with a stressor in advance. Another thing, another way to deal with a stressor is to respond and don't react. Try not to react. Always give a stressor the benefit of your brain. So if something happens, if somebody calls you a fool or something, here's what you do. You take a deep breath in through your nose, and as you breathe out, you see my arms and legs are heavy and warm, and then you decide how you're going to handle it. Do not just fly off the handle anymore. You will learn to deal with the power that you have within you, that power to deal with stress, that power to reverse the stress response. That's what that is about. Another thing, another way to deal with a stressor is to know your values. I want you to recognize that today you go away, try and go away and take 5 minutes for yourself and write down what are your most important values. What are they? And make sure that those values are high in your life. And when you know what you value most, you will be able to deal with the stress better. One psychiatrist came rushing to a meeting one time and he said, I'm sorry to be late, but I knew my walkaway position. I did not want to sell my building for less than X. And so I got them to keep their money and I got to keep my building. What am I talking about? I'm talking about knowing your walk away position. So take some time after this time together. Take some time by yourself to ask yourself, what are my values? What's my walk away position? And you will find that when you're stressed, you can deal with those kinds of stressors with more authenticity because you know what you value. So it's important for you to know what the stress is in your life and to know how to deal with them. Okay, now are you getting something from this? Remember now, you've got to know that you have stressors and they are inevitable, but you can be totally relaxed. And the other thing that you will have to know is that you have to know that when you have a stressor, when you have something happening, make sure that you perceive, I can handle that. Can you say that for me? Write that. Come on. I can handle it. You know, I was called to Montreal one time to handle a very difficult situation with many, many teachers, and I was consulted with everybody, the administrators of schools and so on. And all I really did was I said to them, I can handle that. And they handled it and wrote me a beautiful letter that they were never stressed out by even the most difficult things. So I can handle that is an important sentence for you to write down. And when a stressor hits you, remember, I can handle. That's your perception. You know, it was Epictetus. Remember Epictetus, that ancient philosopher? He said that man and woman, you are kind of stressed. You're distressed, not by the events in your life. That's not what's causing the problem, but by your perception of those events. So again, emphasizing that you need to look upon those events in your life and look them straight in the eyes and say, I can handle that. Now, how do you know that you can handle that? What can you do in your life to beef up, to elevate yourself to the point that you can handle anything that hits you? This is where we are right now in this little seminar. Okay? I want you to know that you can handle anything. And the first technique I want to introduce you to is the technique of ditch the cargo that you don't need. I want you to look at your life now, really, because I really want you to change from this. You know, it doesn't matter. You might be a doctor, a lawyer, you might be a CEO, you might be a cleaner. I don't care who you are. But what I want from you today is that you will never be stressed out by the stressors, the hardships, the impediments that face you day after day, because they're sending impulses to the heart and to the immune system. And I don't want that to happen. I want you to take over. So you say, I can handle that. And you boost your ability to handle that by ditching the cargo that you don't need. It is said that you have to take time alone to know what it is that you're handling that is of no consequence in your life. What's going on? What are you handling that you don't need to handle anymore? Okay? I want you to make sure then that you ditch the cargo you don't need. What is it in your life right now? It might be financial things that you are undertaking. You might be buying too much clothes that you don't need, or you might have extra relationships. And I want to talk to you about that because I was talking to a doctor the other day and I said, how are you doing? And she said, I'm much happier. I'm not stressed anymore because of this technique that I'm teaching you. And the technique is that she looked over all her patient load and she eliminated the 25 people that she is not helping and that will not allow her to help them. They're just a drain on her. So what's a drain in your life? Use this opportunity because we don't have time. Use it. Do it now. Ask yourself. And right after this interlude, I want you to ask yourself, what is it of little consequence that I can ditch in my life? Remember the storm that broke out at sea, and it was St. Paul's was in a boat. And the first thing the captain did before they sank, he said, let's get rid of the cargo that we don't need. I was with a prime minister the other day, and just to show you how this technique works. And I said, how? He said, Doc, I'm so stressed. And he said, I'll take your advice. I'll have to free up myself. I felt so sorry for him. I almost wanted to cry. And he said, I have to free up myself. And he took some time and looked at the things that are of less consequences, and he freed himself up. And at this point, let me remind you as I talk about stress. Can I remind you? Did you know that 80% of what you do is probably useless? It's only 20% of what you do will give you the results that you want in your life. So what's the 20%? So you have a lot of work to do on yourself, don't you? So in order to know that you can beef up your perception to the point where you can say truthfully, I can handle that. You want to look at your life and ditch the cargo that you don't need. Another technique is to make sure that you know what your purpose is, not just your goal. Your goal, for example, for today might be to make so many calls. But what's your purpose? What's your overarching purpose in life? I want you to draw near to yourself. And I want you to ask yourself again and again. I do that every Tuesday. For me is a day where I spend time refining that overarching purpose of my life. And that has caused me to make way more money. It has caused me to be much more friendly. It has got me much more support in my life. And I feel so happy from that simple technique where you know your overarching purpose. Focus on that. Focus on your overarching purpose, and you will find that you'll be much, much better. You see, when the stresses of life come, remember, they are the mundane, minor, irritating little things that's causing real physiological problems. That's why I'm here. If they only cause you to feel a little anxious and then they go away, that's fine. But what I'm after is that they do not cause cortisol and adrenaline which will precipitate insulin resistance, which can precipitate diabetes. Those things aren't caused in your life because you use this simplistic, it's simple, but it's not easy technique of saying, well, what's in my life? What's the purpose of my life? What am I to do? And focus on that in times of stress. That's really what I want you to do. Okay, so as you focus on those things, you'll find yourself becoming absolutely happier, ecstatic, right in the middle of the battle. Because it is easy to be stress free and to be happy when life flows by like a song. But the one who's worthwhile is the one who can smile when everything goes dead wrong. And that's what this training is about. When everything goes dead wrong, I want you to say, I can handle it. And the two things that you can do, there are other things you can do to handle this is, number one, you are going to make sure that you ditch cargo out of your life that you don't need. You're going to take time with yourself, because all men and women begin to become great. They begin to make great money, and they begin to have more influence when they take time for themselves. How about 5 minutes for yourself every day to find out who you really are? That seems silly. 5 minutes without an agenda when I got so much to do? Yeah, 5 minutes. Oh man, oh woman, know yourself, because it is in you that the treasure lies. And the second thing is to focus on your purpose. You see, focus on your purpose. And I'll give you one more trick that is just absolutely mind-boggling to me, how beautiful it works. You can use, are you with me now? Are you with me? If you're with me, say, yeah, yeah. Okay, just write that. Say, yeah, we are going to beat stress in just these few minutes. And what I want you to do, every time you have a stressor, every time something impedes your progress, every time a problem crops up, every time you're insulted, every time you're rejected, what do you say? You use that as a cue to produce a refined and integrated physiology. Okay, so every time that happens and you've got the formula, you are going to say, take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, you say, breathing in, I observe my body and mind. Breathing out, I smile and relax. Do you know what I used to do in the early days? I used to put dots on my wrists or on my computer. You know, put dots around, little smiley faces or whatever you do. Change things around so that you will remember whenever things go wrong. You use that as a cue to say, okay, my arms and legs are heavy and warm as you A, focus your awareness, B, breathe in, and C, look at the circulation. And you do that, you can encompass the whole of that in this exercise. Breathing in, I observe my body and mind. Breathing out, I smile and relax. Let's do that twice right now, because it can transform your life. Please take time, take a moment, just close your eyes and go with me. Breathing in, breathe in slowly and use your attention. I focus on my body. Breathing in, I observe my body and mind. Breathing out, I smile. Actually smile with your whole body and relax. Let's do that again, okay? It will transform your life. Breathing in, I observe my body and mind. Breathing out, I smile and relax. And I want you to keep doing that. Every time some little thing triggers and tempts you to go into the stress mode, you use that as something that can actually keep you and elevate you to a level that you never even thought possible. You see? So have you got the first window? How to deal with a stressor? You anticipate it, you deal with it, you don't react to it, but you respond to it. Okay, you respond. Make sure. And the second level is that when a stressor hits you, if you see it's getting stressed, just look it straight in the eye and say, ha, I can handle that. And then you beef up your ability. You see, Epictetus also says that sometimes when faced with difficulties and certain stress, when faced with that, some people fall, they crash, whereas some people thrive. And the real difference is perception. So if you failed your exam, I can handle that. So if your wife doesn't express her love, I can handle that. And you want to make sure that you focus first on getting physiological power and physiological harmony, and then you can fix the situation. And the third window, quickly, that I want to give you, the third window of success is, remember, you're going to leave here knowing this stuff if it kills you, right? Okay. The first thing is the stressor. Stress is the response of an individual when she perceives that her life circumstances, the stressor, and the perception of the stressor as outside of your ability to cope. Never again. Every stressor, you can cope with it and continually beef up your ability to proceed. And the third window is the response itself. Let me tell you, I'm so excited about this. I almost have to take an Valium just to keep me quiet here. Okay, I'm excited about the fact that we can reverse the stress response. Even if you thought that your perception was late in kicking in and you're beginning to feel stress, note what happens. When a stressor acts on the biological system, the first thing that happens is that a message goes to all the 680 muscles in the body, telling them to contract, to contract. So that's what happens. So you can reverse the stress response. And I'll just, as we close, I'm going to give you a way to reverse that. Many people will notice that they're tight. They're tight at work because they're behind schedule. They're tight because they are upset with their spouse, and they say, geez, relax. No, wrong. What you do when you feel that tightness comes, you tighten, bring your shoulders to your ears. You see how I'm doing? And you make a fist and you take a deep breath. Remember, always breathing in through your nose, because breathing is the basic rhythm of life. Okay? All right, so here we go. You tense when you're tense. Take a deep breath, and as you breathe out, just let go and feel the wave of relaxation moving down into your body and into your mind as well. You won't get it first today. You got to practice. Every little good takes time. Alas, by some degree of woe, we every bliss must gain. So you got to go through the practice to gain the bliss. So let's do it again. Here you find that you're getting stressed because you didn't plan the stressor and you didn't perceive well. And geez, my shoulders are tight. I'm getting a migraine. My legs are feeling so tense. Oh, I'm getting upset in my stomach. So whatever happens to you when you're under stress, we call that stress stereography. When you find that you're getting the message that you are stressed, what happens is that your physiology is being affected. A message goes to the premotor area of the brain, causing tension in 680 muscles. Secondly, another message goes to the limbic system, causing the amygdala to get you fearful and anxious. And that's actually a biological fact. And other things happen as well. But short of time, I'll just tell you what to do. You take a deep breath. Breathe in through your nose, and as you breathe out, you say, my arms and legs are heavy and warm, and that reverses the stress response. Now, will you do that? I'm going to, I just want you to be an expert in dealing with stress. And you know something? When you're an expert in dealing with stress, you're also an expert in dealing with happiness. You see, you're expert in dealing with happiness. You'll be able to have a happier life. And I want you to be so good having a happier life, a better life. I want you to elevate yourself, okay? See how my hands are? I want you to do that. Come on, humor me. Elevate myself. Elevate myself. I want you to do that. And I want you to stay elevated and even go higher, you see, and use these techniques, use them sincerely, use them deliberately, and they will protect you from the ravages of stress, and they will help you to elevate yourself. But just in case you want to go higher, you know, you can go higher. And here you are, you have tuned in to this program, and I'm excited. I'm really excited for the opportunity to help you to beat stress. I'm very, very excited. So, what I would like you to do is to make sure that you get a taste of what it is to master all the vicissitudes of life. And it's hard in this short session, but if you want to go, I have an offer for you. And I want you to make sure that you stay with me. I would love to be able to hold your hand. I would love to be able to be your personal consultant, as it were, to help you with. You could ask me any questions. You could ask me about your shoulders, about your job, anything, so that we can together beat the ravages of stress and we can consolidate these techniques and learn even more techniques, way more techniques that will help you to rise higher and to really elevate yourself. This is the name of this offer that I want to give you. And the first thing, you get 4 coaching calls, 4 calls where I will be with you to hold your hand and to guide you and to make sure that you really learn how to beat stress, how to increase your happiness, and how to have more energy to make more money in your life. That's the first thing. And in addition to that, you are going to get some of my best programs. I have one called Stress and Performance. Stress and Performance is a program that I teach to so many people. You know, the people who have been exposed to my ideas, many, thousands have changed their lives. I was at a hotel the other day, and I had a problem called for the CEO, and the CEO came down and said, Dr. Nedd, it is your ideas that have helped me to go from being the cleaner to the CEO because I learned how to manage myself better. You can learn that. You can learn so that you will not just be healthy, but you'll be wildly successful as well. So the second thing, you get those 4 coaching consultations with me, you know, in a group. And the second thing you're going to get is 5 training audio programs that have changed people's lives. You're going to get Stress and Performance, which will show you how to actually perform in an excellent manner. You will get that program, and you'll also get the Anatomy of Success. We'll show you how to be how to tread the road of success and how to use your energy for great success for you, for your family, and for the people around you. We don't want to be selfish. I know you want to help a lot of people. Otherwise, you would not have been attracted to me. I know that. I know you want to make your life a success. You're a real action taker. And I want you to take action on this offer to actually embed these principles in your life, and they will make you an incredible leader in your field. That's what's going to happen to you. And then I want you to get the gift of excellence. how to become an excellent performer. What are the habits that you have to actually ingrain in the central nervous system that will make you the excellent one in your group or the excellent one in your country? As I said, I lecture to prime ministers, and I remember one time one prime minister felt that he was going down in the polls. So we got together. I can't, for confidentially reasons, of course, reveal who it is, but we talked about stress. We talked about how to use your energy, how to become happier, and how to free yourself. These principles. And we spent time together. And he not only won, he almost won, a lot. A real big victory. So I want you to know that these principles have consequences in your life. Okay, and you're going to get stress and performance. You're going to get the anatomy of success. You're going to get the gift of excellence, so that they will wash over you day after day in your car, wherever you are. You can listen to these programs that will change the fabric of your life. And you will also get other things that will help you. We will constantly update this so that you will be helped. So you get 4 training audios like that. And then, do you know what I've done for you? I've also decided, since you are an action taker, I've put together 30 videos which you will listen to, one video every day. I want you to watch it, and it's going to boost your motivation, because sometimes motivation wanes, and this is going to lift up your motivation. It's going to lift up your inspiration. You will be inspired to go out there to help people, to make more money for your family and for those who are in need. You will feel more motivated as you listen to this every day. You'll get 30 of these programs. I can tell you countless individuals who have come up to me and have said, Doc, one person says, I didn't even have a home. I was poor. I had nothing. And 2 years after she came to me, I now have 3 homes. And it's all because you have taught me how to transform my energy. And stress is a thing of the past for me. So I want you to take these training videos seriously. And in them, you will get also this 30 videos that will transform your life. You'll get a habit of motivation. I talk about grooving it into the neuronal networks so that you will be different. Okay, that's what my offer is. Now, these programs, just the first part alone, where I'm going to be your consultant, is very, it's a great value. It's very valuable. And people pay, thousands of dollars for that. But I'm going to really give you an offer that you can't believe. And also, I'm going to include these training audio programs. I'm going to include 30 videos. And as well, I have decided to make a special Facebook group so that you can go on Facebook and get support. Because, you'll get support from other leaders, people who want to lead their field. And I don't mean leaders in terms of vice president of this or no, I mean leader because you've got your energy packed to do what you want to do. And I'm going to give you special access to this group so that you can talk to other leaders as well. And the last thing, I am so excited about this. I want you to take this offer today, because the price will change. I want you to do it today, because I have included in that offer for you 2 tickets to a Vancouver seminar where I'll get to react with you. I'll get to talk to you. I'll get to show you things that you probably don't know. I'll get to expand on things and help you more with how to boost your brain power, how to be more creative, how to be more innovative, and how to be more productive, as well as how to decrease your stress. So you get 2 tickets to a Vancouver seminar that's worth a lot of money. The value is great. And when you put this package together, it's worth over more than $4,000. $4,000. And because I really want your company, because I really want to meet you, I want to help you sincerely. I could do other things to make money, but sincerely, I really want to help you. And I want you to take action because you came to this webinar. Take action today, and I'll give you the whole package, including the 2 tickets. I'll give you for just $497, and it's worth way more than $4,000. So I want you to take action right now. Click, do what you have to do to enter now so that we can get together. You can get my coaching calls. You can listen and be washed, be inundated with positive information. And at the same time, you can join my Facebook group, and you must right now add to cart. Take this, and we will meet again, and we'll have coaching call. I really am looking forward to that because you can ask me anything about health, about your energy, whatever it is. And I want you to take action today because you are an action person. That's why you're here. Take action. Don't let this opportunity slip by. And I'll be so excited. Can you imagine? I'll be flying. I'll be excited because I get the opportunity to do these calls with you and help to change the fabric of your life, as well as get to meet you and to actually have a Vancouver seminar for a whole day. Can you imagine? It's called Elevate Yourself. You will reach places that you've never dreamed of. Take action today. What's going to happen if you take action now? You will find that discomfort that you have in your body when you have a lot to do, you find that that's gone. You find that you will be happier for no reason, a sense of composure. I call it physiological joy. I'm sure you get a sense of what I mean. It's so hard to explain. But after we ingrain these principles, after you get my 4 consultations, and after you actually get all these programs to wash over you and get the inspiration, you will change your life. You will be unstoppable. You will make more money. Most people make more money, but that depends on how you use the program and the effort that you put in it. So I'm offering you something that can change your life. You will even walk differently. You will see things that you used to think are problems will be no problems at all to you because you have beefed up your physiology. You have increased your perception, and you will become a different person. Join my Elevate Yourself program right now. Join it today, and let us make stress a thing of the past. Join it today. And I hope you will remember to practice the techniques that we have given you. Join now. Okay, and I'll get to meet you. I'm so excited. Bye-bye, and hope I'll see you soon. See you on the coaching call. And you can download the stuff that will wash you into a beautiful, stress-free, productive individual. See you again. Bye-bye.